Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My full name is Nova Febiani. I am a semester 3 student of English Education Program of Asanta Islamic Higher Education Institution. Now, I will take video explain about legal marriage versus cohabitation practice. First, legal marriage. In the setting of some legitimate marriage, state accepting opposition because of the lack of law enforcement in the area. But this time, I propose 100% that legal marriage is the most appropriate choice for a clarity of relationship. Marriage is probably not for everyone. Some couples may want to bypass the formalities associated with an official wedding. Others may want to spare the financial affairs and the burden of their debt. Whatever the case, some people choose to live together without the benefit of a legitimate union. From a legal standpoint, a formal marriage is in writing and a valid marriage in anyone's age. A small example of this staying out of the case of an affair. Governments can provide rules that can be included in the rules that all citizens must obey by on the ground that people do not know the impact cohabitation will have on a child's mental habits that result in a ill-loving parent. This lack of affection is justified because when cohabitation practice is applied, there is not rule of law over child custody, so broken home is plentiful. Not to mention the economic situation in which there are no written rules on dividing assets. It would be very unfair for the wealthy to grow and the poor to stay poor after the divorce. In the end of cohabitation relationship, the parties can usually divide the property at will. However, the absence of a code of law could cause more conflict about who get what. Perhaps there is a preoccupation before marriage with the multi-names manifest content that the individual make decision contrary to their own interests, even though it seems as though they are doing so voluntarily and knowledgeably. A valid marriage is one of the policies for protecting morals and well-being. People are due to the government protecting the right of discriminated minorities because of the majority views of cohabitation. I was under obligation in a legitimate relationship to be known to the third party, aside from both families, to avoid negative views from the general public. Therefore, a valid marriage is the solution to all this problem of child custody, the healthy division after divorce, to the avoidance of mental illness to it because of the pressure from outside because of the legal system overshadow this rule. Second, cohabitation practice. Cohabitation is perfectly possible in terms of Second, cohabitation practice. Cohabitation is perfectly possible in terms of some of the complexities of the marriage. Between them, the requirement of marriage, which differ from state to country, include a permit, a period of waiting, a blood test, a minimum age. A blood test, a minimum age, a ceremony presided over by a priest or an officer of the court, and a witness. While cohabitation can be made at any time, by anyone of any age and gender without formal requirements, not to mention the ending of the marriage by divorce of legal annulment that can be costly, time-consuming, complicated, and emotionally draining. Cohabitation is the right of all citizens without government interference. Each individual who decides to do cohabitation has thought of the good-bad effect upon his choice. Individuals are also entitled to choose best to decide a choice with a view to maximizing happiness, vindicating their inherent right to marriage, freedom, and the right to live worthily. Nor does the government have the right to prohibit the individual choice of the best agency from the individual himself, unless it shows harm to others to this choice. If it is said that a child mental illness, the economic of the divorce and the like are the bad effects, it's completely wrong. They do not have a valid breeding ground in legal law, but prior to this practice, a meeting was held between the two families that would convene before marriage, which include a schedule of children and parents after the divorce, of the disposition of their possessions and whatever else they had to do when the divorce occurred. So there's no connection between child custody, mental disorders, economic condition, and so forth with cohabitation. Libertarians believe that individuals are rational actors, capable of calculating risk and making decisions that maximize their happiness. Although cohabitation can be risky if done, libertarians believe that individuals must have the choice to do so if they believe that the pleasure of cohabitation practice is more important to them than a legal marriage. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.